Yo, it's Captain, and it's gonna be a funner video today. Lighter video, maybe a shorter video. Is it possible? Who knows? We'll find out. But I want to talk about my journey with roguelikes, or, you know, maybe why I keep playing roguelikes even though I don't like them. Because that's a question I get a lot. I say a lot. I mean, it comes up. I don't have millions of people ask me questions, but it does come. I do get asked this. Captain, why are you playing roguelikes when you constantly just talk about how you don't like roguelikes? So I thought it would be fun because we've just done this whole marathon of the Star Rail story and in-depth deep dives. We finally finished it. Did it with the longest video yesterday. So this is, I thought, what's funner? And we played, and on stream we had a little fun cleanse of, we just played some Wizard of Legends today, and it was just something fun and chill to do after that experience. And here I'm playing a roguelike. And I'm talking about it, and it's like, oh yeah, I don't like this. It's a roguelike thing. And again, the question comes like, Captain, why are you playing a roguelike if you don't like them? So I want to answer the question with just a little story. It's all off the cuff. I don't know if this story is gonna be, have a nice narrative arc or anything for you, but it should hopefully explain it. I just want to go through what happened with me in roguelikes and why the hell I'm playing them. So I think it's best. I've been around long enough that I didn't see the birth of the original roguelikes, like actually Rogue and the Rogue clones. But now I think we've all played games inspired by Rogue. I mean, like the Diablo series and stuff, and countless other games, and roguelikes themselves are I remember I was checking the store page of some of these to try to remind myself on these ones I've played, and they were all like in the blurbs, in the store blurbs, it was telling you like, hey, this is an action platformer with roguelike elements, right? Because it wasn't really its own genre yet, because that is what I have seen, the modern resurgence of the roguelikes. And when they came in, and when they were hype, and everybody was all over them, and all the cool, felt like all the cool indie game development was in roguelikes. You wanted to play new cool platformers, you wanted to play like new cool Metroidvania things, they're all roguelikes now, and you better like them. And I was like, yo, this is cool, a new thing coming out, let's, I'm excited. It seems where all this cool stuff's happening. Seems great. People were playing it and recommending it. Check out this cool new indie game, all this stuff. It was new. And I saw it. I was there. I was there. And I tried it. And I hated it. And this whole time, right, I've just been seeing as the genre catch on and grow, and hits come in and people get excited about it, right? And I've just been salty that all these cool games are coming out and I can't play them because I don't like roguelikes. So, however, these days I actually play some roguelikes. I still don't like them, but I play them. So, and I think I've got to a point where I can enjoy playing them. So how do we get here? How's this happening? Maybe you're already starting to see why I play them. Right, with the way I talk about how they've come around. But so where did we start? I'm pretty sure the first roguelike I ever played was Risk of Rain. And I don't know if I played it when it was brand new. I don't know. Steam says the last time I played it was 2015, and I think it said it came out in 2013 or something. But I don't know if it's. I didn't play it very long. I remember that. But I remember getting it. I remember it was hype and people were talking about it. You got to try this new thing, this roguelike thing. And I tried the game, and I remember the game. I'm fairly certain people still regard it highly to this day. I'm not really sure. Everybody talks about Risk of Rain 2 now, which is a 3D experience. Risk of Rain, the original, was like a 2D pixel platformer. Um, and I remember the big selling point is it had this timer over the top, and the timer was how you could dictate your own difficulty. Now, there's a little bit of an issue. I'm fairly certain this is a long time ago. Captain's it's been a long time. Captain slept many times. Captain's lost a lot of hair since then. Um, so I don't remember, but I am fairly certain that I I thought the timer. I knew the timer was tied to difficulty, but I thought it was if you want the game to be harder, you go faster, and if you want the game to be easier, you go slower. Now, right up until right before this video, I still didn't know what it was. But like I said, I looked it up on Steam. And I I had it backwards. It's if you go faster, the game gets harder the longer it goes. So you're like racing against the clock is the idea. Now I'm pretty sure I had this backwards when I played it. And I remember just getting my ass kicked, just dying constantly. Well, not constantly, but just like it was always just too hard and I never got anywhere. And the whole new concept of these roguelikes was that you had permadeath. You didn't respawn at a checkpoint. You didn't restart the level. You lost the run. It's like arcade games. You die, you don't put in a new quarter, you got to start the whole thing over, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't think of remember anything you did. Well, this whole new thing with these modern roguelikes was that all right, we're gonna update the genre a little bit to make it more appealing to current day audiences. We're gonna give you a meta progression. You're gonna die and your run's gonna be over, but you're still gonna get some sort of reward for it. You read the store page of Risk of Rain, it like lays all this out. It's like explaining it to you. And I was like, oh, I remember when you had to explain this to people. You couldn't just write roguelike on there. It was all like selling points. Like it just had because no people hadn't seen this stuff before. So it was really funny to just read through that. But so it's this meta progression idea, and you're supposed to get things. You could unlock new characters. I like unlocking new characters. I think it's fun. I like action games. I like new characters. I like trying to, which characters for me, which one I want. Well, I remember playing Risk of Rain and dying and never getting anywhere and never unlocking anything. Right? And I was like, well, I don't like how this character plays. And then I would see, there was some other characters that I could try to play. And I was like, I think I would like how that character plays. And it was like, to unlock this, you have to go beat this boss. I was like, well, I can't even get to the boss. Or I would like, I die on the boss. There's like no way I can beat that boss. Like or it'd be like, do all this stuff. I'm like, well, I can't do that. I try to do that. It's just, I die. I was like, I don't understand. How am I ever going to unlock the characters if I can't make the progress? You're supposed to be helping me by giving me this meta progression, but I can't get the meta progression because I can't get there. So it's like I don't understand. I don't understand what I've never. I think I managed to unlock one or two other characters. I never could just make the progress I need to do, and I just didn't have any fun with it. And I was salty because this was the new hotness that everybody was playing and getting excited about, and everybody was saying it was great. And it's like, oh, this new emerging genre is so cool. I wonder where it's gonna go and all this stuff. I don't think Risk of Rain was the very first. I mean, I have no idea, but it was definitely one of the early ones. And I remember that going off. I remember also, oh, was it Rogue Legacy or something? It was that side scroller that you had a hero challenge the dungeon, and like he had like a birth defect or something, and so you'd get sometimes your hero would couldn't see color, and so the game would play in black and white and stuff. I think that was the other one. It had a sequel a while later. I never played that one. Right, I tried Risk of Rain, and I was like, I'm not into this. This isn't working for me. But I did not give up. Now, to be fair, it might have been because I screwed up the timer thing and thinking that going slow was gonna help me. Now, I didn't give up, right? Because more and more cool games are coming out. I wanted to try them. Eventually, one came out called Enter the Gungeon, and this one looked really cool. And once again, it was like all these people were talking about, oh, this is hype, So every time one of these roguelikes would come out, everybody get excited because it's a new genre. It's a cool new indie game. This is around the time when indie games were like really coming into like public consciousness as things, there's cool things to do, and so it was a big deal when a new cool indie game came out. There's always all this buzz around it, and everybody wanted to try it. Like this is kind of the it's just that time. I remember, I don't know really what time it was. I don't know if I'm blurring it all in my mind, but to me, there was just this time where all this new stuff was finally happening in games and people were excited about it. And now indies are pretty established. You can go on like Steam and just check them all out. People hear them. They're just new game releases, just like any other game. And I think it's fantastic because I mean that's what the industry needs. It's what the industry needs is people who can go out there and make a cool game and then be able to sell it, and people be like, yes, this is a cool game, and for it to do well, right? I mean, I feel like you talk about indies and mainstream, what do we call them? AAA corporate games, whatever you want to call them. Just hand in hand. It's just people are like just cool new releases or cool new releases, and I think that's great. I love indie games, but anyways, so right, it was just new cool games come out. Oh, we're gonna try. It's this one. It's a roguelike. Oh, all right. Well, you know what? This Gungeon one looked cool. It was a different style. It wasn't a side scroller. It wasn't an action platformer. It was a top down. Wonder if Binding of Isaac is the first one. I never played Binding of Isaac, but I'm fairly certain Gungeon is in the style of Binding of Isaac. And it's like I said, we're playing Wizard of Legend today on stream. It's that style too, where it's a top-down dungeon and you explore the rooms, and then at some point you go to like the next floor or the next dungeon or the next whatever. But until you do that, you can freely explore the rooms. You can go back and forth. You can find the shop. Maybe you can't buy anything in the shop, but you can go explore the rest of the dungeon and come back. Maybe now you can buy something, right? It's that kind of setup. There's all sorts of roguelikes now where you don't get to go back and forth, but in these you can. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a you know what, I hadn't decided, I haven't given up on the genre or anything yet. I was like, all right, maybe it was just me and Risk of Rain didn't get along. Let's try this roguelike thing again. This Gungeon game looks cool, and this one I played and I did like Gungeon. I do like that game. And I played it a good amount. I forget what Steam said I played it. Maybe like 8 hours or something. So not like a lot. But a good amount. Like I played it and I enjoyed it. But it had some problems. I liked the game. I didn't really like the whole roguelike part. Right? I liked the running around. I liked the exploring the dungeon. I liked the cool guns. Right, I like the flavor of it. The whole everything's gun related. All the enemies are like bullets and stuff, and it was a really fun theme, right? And it was cool. It's like swords were cursed. You could get like a sword, but it was a cursed item. Melee was a cursed thing. It was all about shooting guns, and it had like a fun bullet hell element. I've always sucked at bullet hell, but I've always found it entertaining. And fun to look at and try to play. I remember playing twin stick shooters and stuff. I always enjoyed them. I remember even playing shmups, but I'm not actually that old. I just am old. But I played. So I like the bullet hell. I like the different format, and I enjoyed it. But I never beat it because it would annoy me. The whole thing about the roguelikes are one more run. That was the mantra of the genre as it came into being. It's like, oh yeah, we gotta do these one more run games. Even I think I've like got them labeled in my Steam categories as one run games because it was just so prevalent. It was all about one more run. But I never felt like that. When I died in Gungeon, you know what I felt like? I'm done for the day. I felt like that sucked. I guess I'll stop playing this. It was never one more run. It was like, God, I just wasted 2 hours. Yeah. Because I am not, I'm like an MMO gamer. I'm an RPG gamer, man. It's all about always slow progress, always moving forward, always getting something for the time invested. You know what I mean? You invest more time, you get more things out of it. So to do something and be building something and building something and then you die and everything you built is gone now, bro, that sucks. That sucks ass. I don't want to do that. So even though I like the Gungeon and I like to play and I like the randomness, I'm real big on randomness. I've loved Diablo style ARPGs. They're some of my favorite, like one of my favorite genres. So I love the randomness. I love the replayability. I just this whole this whole anti-progress thing is gets to me. But roguelike's supposed to have the meta progress, and Gungeon does have that. If you find a cool gun, it like unlocks it permanently or something, and you can get some currency that you can use at the out of run shop to like unlock more guns and stuff. It's been a while since I played. I think Steam said 2016. So you could slowly unlock more guns, and the idea is that you get cooler guns, and then your later on runs are cooler. But here's the thing. You don't get to start the game with those guns. You don't unlock the guns for use. You unlock the guns for spawning somewhere in the dungeon potentially. Woo. Wow, I really feel like I made some progress. I really feel like I did something. Maybe in the next 100 runs I'll see that gun and maybe I'll live long enough to shoot it. Right? And that's kind of where Gungeon failed for me. Failed for me was that you know you pretty much played 90% of the time with your starter weapon, because and that's an exaggeration, I'm sure, and I'm sure anyone who's good at any of these games doesn't have these problems. If you're the kind of person that plays in here and just doesn't die and just wins the runs, I'm sure they don't have these problems, and I'm sure it's probably made for people like that, and that's why they don't. That's why it's like it doesn't work for me, because everybody playing and testing it is just good or something. But for me, I felt like I was playing 90% of the time with my starter weapon, because I'd either die before I got a cool weapon, or if you did get cool weapons, they all had ammo. So you couldn't use the cool weapon because you might run out of ammo, and you're going to need it because the game's going to get hard. You're going to have to get to a boss, you're going to have to get to like a mini boss or just a really tough room that you're going to need the bigger gun. So if you don't need the bigger gun right now, you should save the ammo and use your pea shooter. So most of the time, you're trying to use your pea shooter either because you have to or because you probably should. I don't know. Maybe if you get far enough in the run, you have all sorts of guns and all sorts of ammo, and it's not like that. But I never got that far. I think I got to like level 3 or something. I remember I was able to do the oubliette, which was the secret level, and then I think you'd do that one instead of level 2 or something. And I'm pretty sure I got to the level after that. I never got to like the end boss or something. I think it's a dragon or some shit, but I never got that far. And I'm pretty sure I never got to like the later levels. I think it's like 5 levels. I think I got to level 3. Um, you know, and it was fun to like this time you didn't have to unlock the characters, I don't think, or it was easier to unlock the characters. So there's 5 character classes, and I remember it was fun to switch between them and try to figure out which one I liked more. But it was basically which pea shooter do you like more? And I think I stuck with the dog one. It's either a girl or guy with a dog, because the dog was fun, and I liked the way that the everyone had like basically a different starter pistol, and I liked the way that one worked. But still, I mean, I'd play and I'd die and I'd be like, And I was like, all right, you know what? I've officially played a good one that I like, but I still don't like the roguelike part. So I don't think this genre is for me, and I gave up on it. I gave up on it. I was like, it's not just that it was that one game I didn't like. This game I actually like, but I just hate that it's a roguelike. Cuz I hate this dying and you lose everything. And to this day I still hate that. But I gave up on the genre forever. I was just like, whatever, it's not for me. And I kept watching cool new games come out that everybody got excited about, that looked really good, that I thought would be really fun, and then it'd be like, ooh, but it's a roguelike. Ah, shame. And I move on. This continued. This continued until very recently, maybe like a year or something ago, and I played Hades. I didn't get it when it came out. I think I got it on sale for one time. And I think it was after the announcement for Hades 2. I'd always intended to play Pyre, but people on stream were like, no, man, you got to play Hades. That's where it's at. But I was like, you don't want to see Pyre? I still want to play Pyre. And now when I bring up that story, people are like, what are you talking about? Pyre's great. Play Pyre. So I was like, well, I guess I'll wait until I can get Hades. Because I think I got Pyre like when Hades came out, you know. And so I finally was able to play Hades not too long ago. Like I said, probably within a year. And I have put I didn't check. I put like 100 hours into it. Because we played on stream. The other two I didn't play on stream. I wasn't streaming that long ago. I've been streaming a long time, but not that long. And I've played Hades, and I like Hades. Once again, it is a good game. I do not like the roguelike parts. I never have. I never will. They suck. It is not fun to put together a really cool build that you're finally having fun with, and then something goes wrong and you die, and you will never, ever have that build again. Ever. You might have something close to that build if you're lucky. It might take you 10 runs to get something that's halfway close to that build, right? Like, I like the weapons in Hades, but it's like, I like this weapon with this hammer adjustment, because the hammers like change the way the weapon plays. But the hammers are random drops. And what you get on the hammer is a random drop. So you can't guarantee you get a hammer, and you can't guarantee you get this. Like, well, I only like this weapon if it has this variation with this skill. Good luck. Good luck. But look, why have I played Hades so much? Because Hades has a lot of elements of a more traditional game. It's kind of like the roguelike you should play if you don't like roguelikes. And it's not because it'll make you like roguelikes, but because it has enough there besides the roguelike that you will probably still have something to enjoy. Like, I really like the story. I like the art. You know, I like Supergiant games. I like the art. I like the solid gameplay. I like what's happening here, right? And I like playing the games that they have made. So, right, I really wanted to do it. I was like, all right, I will give roguelikes a second chance for Supergiant, for the guys who made Bastion, the guys who made Transistor. I love both of these games quite a good deal. Transistor, it took me 2 tries to get into it because I didn't play it properly first. And holy snaps, that snowball loss system, literally just if you die and you lose one of your skills that's important, just restart. Don't keep playing. Just restart. Just restart and redo that fight, because it is not worth doing the next fight, which is going to be inevitably harder, while you're now at a disadvantage. You'll probably die again because it's harder and you're at a disadvantage. You'll probably lose more skills. Just don't do it. Also, do the pause. That game is a lie. It is not a real-time game. That is a pause game. You are supposed to use that all the time. That's why I failed the first time I played it. Because those two things, I got snowballed to death, and I didn't think you were supposed. I thought you're supposed to play it like. I thought it was an option. It was real time with pause, so you could play it real time or pause. No, you play it pause. That's how. That's how you play it, because that's what's really good. Because one, it's where all the cool mechanics are, and two, it's where all the damn damage is. I was an idiot. All right. I don't know what I was doing the first time I played that game, but the second time, I've often thought about that game, probably more than Bastion, believe it or not. Um, it would often come back to me, and I would think about something like it, because it was just such a nice. Tragedies, I think, are more important than the stories than anything else, and it's a wonderful story of tragedy and sacrifice. It's fantastic. Um, and it's great. Anyways, so if anyone's gonna convince me to try roguelikes again, it's gonna be Hades. I mean, it's gonna be Supergiant, and so I played Hades, and I liked the story. I liked the characters. I liked the presentation. I even liked the gameplay. But man, did I not like the roguelike. I hated dying. I like it. It mitigates it a lot, because unlike these other ones that I had tried, now granted there was a lot in between that I didn't play. Unlike these other ones I tried, I really did feel like I was making progress for a little while, even though I was dying. They do a really good job of giving you new story, giving you new things, giving you new unlocks, even though you're not really doing very well. And it's a little bit easier. I feel like a lot of the roguelikes that I had seen, and definitely ones I had tried, it was more like you're trying to beat the run, and that's when you beat the game. And so it's really, really hard to beat the run, and then you finally do it, you could say you beat it. Well, Hades isn't set up that way. It's much easier to beat a given run, it seems to me. But you're supposed to do it 10 times to see the whole story. So, of course, if beating the game is winning 10 runs, then of course, like, the scale of the difficulty for winning one run is going to be a lot less, because it's much earlier in the experience. It's like World 1 in Mario is easier than World 10 in Mario, right? So if the goal of the game is to do it 10 times, then you can have, the first time not be so difficult. And so you're making progress a little bit easier, and you're getting cool things as you're failing. You're unlocking new systems and stuff. And that was cool. I liked that. I was like, all right, well, I'm losing, and I don't like losing. I don't like losing my builds. I don't like feeling like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's hard to learn, because every time you play it, it's completely different, right? Because you're getting different upgrades and whatnot. So you learn a boss for this set of skills you have, but next time you fight the boss, you have a different set of skills. So it's like you got to relearn it. So it makes it really hard to learn the bosses, But it's okay, because I'm making progress. I'm unlocking things. I'm talking to these characters. They're showing me new things. They're telling me new things. This is a good time, and I enjoyed it. It right up until where I am now, which is like, I don't know, the third or fourth win, because that's when the progress stops. After you get, I think it's past your second win, the progress essentially halts until you make more wins. You just have to win more to start unlocking things. And at this point, we're kind of back to the other roguelikes I played. Well, like, I can't win consistently. Like, it's like I just got to roll the dice until I get a lucky build. And if I'm not winning, I'm not getting anywhere, and I feel like I'm wasting my time. And I actually got really mad at Hades. I actually got really frustrated, because I felt like I was wasting my time. I'd take all this time to do a run, and I'd get all the way even to Hades and be like, oh, this build just isn't good enough. Why was I playing? Why did I play for the last several hours? Like, why is this game wasting my time? Like, why is this game wasting my life? Like, I have better things to do. I got really mad, and I had to have like a self-intervention. Because people, I'm on stream this time. I can't just get mad like and drop it like with the other ones. So you talk to people in chat, and they'd be like, they'd be trying to give me tips, or they'd just yell skill issue at me, which was pretty funny. And I'd have to sit there and think about, like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna drop this game? I can't. I have to deliver a good stream. So it's like, I had to really sit down and figure it out, and I finally had this revelation based on what people are telling me, and just sitting there and thinking. It just came to me one day. It's a gift of God. It came to me, and it was, yo, it's not about winning, right? To me, I was just trying to beat the game. I was trying to get to the 10 wins and win and complete the playthrough and be done, right? This is how I think. But I was like, I don't think these games work this way. People are always telling me, it's about the run, it's not about the win. It's like, I am doing this wrong. It's not that I've wasted, if I'm going to play it and feel like I've wasted my time when I didn't win, it's not worth playing. But if I instead play it like it seems like the genre wants me to play it, where I'm playing for what kind of exciting thing can happen in this run and what can I do with that, right? That seems to be what you're supposed to do. And when I took that mindset to it, where it's like, I don't care if I win or not, I just want to see if I can make a good run and see how far I can take it. Taking that mindset made it a lot more fun. It let me focus on the moment of play and what I thought would just be fun for this moment, and not worry about if I'm going to win or not. And then to see if I could have fun with that, just like a little progression sandbox to play along and see where it goes and see what you do with it, and see what's possible with it. And that was a lot more fun. And when I died, I was still mad. I was still upset because I don't want to die. I don't want to lose. I wanted to keep playing with my toys and the build I was making. But it wasn't like crushing. It wasn't like I wasted my time and I'm wasting everything I'm doing, and it's everything. I wasn't in that really negative space that I was for a little bit. I was like, you know what? That's really what I'm supposed to be doing. That's how I'm supposed to be approaching these. It's gonna be a long video, isn't it? We're almost done. I think there's only like one more thing to tell you before we get to current day. This, I can't actually remember if this, the little epiphany I just described and trying it out and seeing it worked, was before or after another set of games that I played. I think it coincided, right? And I think it probably helped me contribute to me understanding that mindset. Because about this time, I picked up another genre of game that I didn't realize, but is actually rather related to roguelikes. And it's the survivors genre of games. I don't know if it's a full genre. I think it's a genre yet to be defined, because usually when you look at the tags or something on Steam, people are calling them bullet hell roguelikes. I think some people will call them bullet heavens or something. Anyways, it's the survivors style of game. Games like Vampire Survivors. Okay. A lot of them are called something survivors. So. But I played Hollow Cure because people told me to play it because they thought it'd be fun. Because I don't know anything about VTubing. I don't know anything about HoloLive. I don't know anything about anything. And they thought it'd be funny. And they said it was good. And I was like, you know what? Let's play it. Y'all keep joking around telling me to play it. Let's play it. And I had a blast. It was fun. It was just pure fun from start to finish. Everything was fantastic. Everything was fun. It is inherently fun to blow up hordes of monsters, and this game just gives you a never-ending horde of monsters, and it see if you can do it. And it gives you, but it has a lot of these roguelike elements. I had no idea, because you level up, and when you level up, you get to pick from a random set of things and make a build as you go, and it's a little different every time because there's that little bit of randomness, right? So you get to have your little progression sandbox. You can unlock more characters. You can unlock as meta progression. You can unlock more items and skills and weapons and things as meta. The things that you're kind of using to make your build. uh, as you go, as meta progression, there's a little house that you can go fishing at, which doesn't have much to do with meta progression, but I did enjoy quite a bit because you'd get really hyped up on a run, and then you'd go fish a little bit to calm down. But what was exciting about these is that what happens is the horde of enemies that's coming at you. It may seem slow in the beginning, but that horde of enemies that's coming at you is constantly constantly ramping up. So they are getting stronger, they're getting more in number, they're going to get stronger types, they might throw a boss at you. So it's constantly like the enemy forces are constantly getting stronger. And the way that you can deal with this, because it's essentially like a twin stick shooter. It's top down, you're like one guy, and the hordes just keep coming at you and you shoot at them, or maybe you have a melee attack. But it essentially functions like a twin stick shooter. And so it just keeps coming, and you have to outpace the enemy ramp up with your own ramp up, which you get by killing the enemies and picking things up and running around and playing well and picking a good build. Right? Because you've got to keep your damage up or you will get overwhelmed. And so the whole thing just has a building intensity the entire time you're playing until you get to like the end or as close to the end as you can get, and the screen is filled with enemies. You are doing all sorts of nutty attacks, like with lasers and light beams and party music, just whatever you can imagine, just trying to cut through the swaths of enemies before they finally take you out, right? And then it culminates if you make it to the end of a particular level, it'll culminate with a big boss, and you see if your build can take on the boss. I mean, this is what roguelikes do, right? This is what Hades does, right? It's a different format, right? But it's that's what you're doing. You're playing, you're making a build, and you're seeing if you can take it all the way and beat the boss. But for whatever reason, these Survivors games were really fun to me. But the other games, like even at the time, Hades, which is the same thing, was driving me nuts and wasn't fun at all. And I was like, and that's why I think this coincided, because it was like, well, what makes this one fun and this one not? And it's like, and the biggest difference was I did not care if I won the level in Hollow Cure. I could care less. I was just enjoying the whole experience. I had no expectations for these types of games. I had no idea what this would be. And it was just really, it was like, oh, it's just like an infinite twin stick shooter. That's really fun. And it's like, okay, well, how do I apply that mindset to something like Hades? And it's like, well, I just have to not care about winning, which is odd because Hades' whole story is set up on you winning. And I was like, all right, I just have to care about I just have to stop caring about progressing the story. And that helped. So now I'm in a different place with Hades where I'm like, well, this is really weird because I've played it enough that I feel like I got everything out of what I have. I haven't unlocked everything, but in order to unlock more stuff, I kind of need to progress the story. But if I sit there and try to progress the story, I'm just going to get mad because I probably won't win, and I'm not going to have fun if I'm worried about that. So if I just want to play with the cool things, I won't worry about that. And I've played a lot with the cool things, and I feel like I've played enough of them. So the only thing left for me to do is to try to progress, and then I'm right back, in the loop. So weirdly enough, Hades is the game that offered so much of regular game in order to ease you. Well, I'll just talk about me here. Ease me into roguelikes, and so that I could learn the genre, approach the genre fresh, and kind of understand the genre to the point where I'm kind of willing to play them now. However, because of that regular game that's attached, now Hades doesn't seem very appealing to me. Because it's like, well, the individual runs aren't crazy enough for me to get too excited about them. Not that I could still sit down and play Hades and enjoy it. But like, when I think about it, I was like, well, I mean, I could also play Holocure. I could play Halls of Torment, which is fantastic. I could play, what one of these other ones I've found because it's a pretty popular genre. Um, I could play one of those instead, and just have a good time with it. So Hades, like the thing, it's like two games. It's like a more traditional game and a roguelike, so that you can enjoy the roguelike even if you're not into them because you still have the traditional game. But then at some point, like they're kind of at odds with each other because it's like, well, I've kind of finished what I can do with the roguelike part, and now I can't progress the regular game, and now it feels like this part's holding it back, and I wish the roguelike part was crazier and I could just enjoy really crazy runs and not worry about the regular game and having to make progress, which is wild. But to me, the roguelike genre itself is just all contradictions. It doesn't the whole design of roguelikes does not make sense to me. It doesn't. It's why I have trouble with it. Remember, I think like, what's my progress? Where am I going with this? And these games aren't really set up that way. Um, but now that I've had this epiphany, now that I'm here with roguelikes, um, I'm kind of like, well, now that I understand them and I found a way to approach them where I could have fun with them, and I've seen examples that are actually really fun, like the survivor genre, maybe it's time to give a try to all these cool games that I've been seeing come out over the years and been like, oh, I really want to play that, but it's a roguelike and I don't like roguelikes. Well, hey, now that I know how to approach roguelikes, maybe I would like that one. Maybe I could enjoy that. And so where I currently am in my journey with the roguelike genre is to just try all of them and have fun with it. If something comes out or goes on sale or comes across me or gets some hype and I think people will be into it, I'm like, yo, let's give it a try. Let's try it out. Let's see if it's fun. And honestly, I've played a lot more roguelikes and I've had a lot of fun with them. They still annoy me. I still don't like roguelikes. I still don't like dying and resetting and losing my build. I'll never get it back again. But, it's like you get over it and you do another run. And I've even played games because what genre did make me finally want to just play one more run? It was the survivors genre. It was Holocure. I just wanted to play one more run. Halls of Torment. I just want to play one more run. Just let me in there again, And I can kind of feel that now. We were playing Wizard of Legend today, and that game, I had a lot of fun with it. We got to some cool builds. It also drove me insane because I would die too early before I got anywhere, or I'd finally get some like a cool build that I felt really was fun and really changed my gameplay up, and then I would die, and I was like, well, I'll probably never get that again. How many more runs am I going to have to do before I get a cool gameplay changing build again? Because to me, it seems like the best, right? If we're taking this mindset of it's just the moment gameplay that I'm after, then I want the roguelikes that are going to do the craziest stuff, that are going to really make it interesting, that are going to really ramp up the randomness. I mean, like we can do that. When you're playing a top-down ARPG, a Diablo-style ARPG, you always have to worry about, oh, this will be too game-breaking. This item will be too game. We can't make it that powerful. We can't make that skill too powerful. We got to nerf it. But this is a roguelike. This run's only gonna last like, a little bit longer. Why not make it insane? Why not break the game every 2 seconds? Because it doesn't matter. You're gonna either die or you're gonna win, and then you're just gonna start over. So why not go nuts? And so to me, the more nuts it goes and the more fun it is and the more fresh and interesting each run is from the other ones, that's really fun. I like novel experiences. My favorite thing to do in these was, right, unlock new characters, right, unlock new weapons, try out new things. Once I ran out of new things in Hades, right, I was like, I'm not having as much fun anymore. So the more crazy stuff that just keeps happening, then I'm having a good time, right? That seems to be what it is. It's So I've played all sorts of things. I've got some of them peeled up here. Like Wizard of Legends been really fun. I've played it a couple days, and that's been fun. I wish I was better at it, because I don't often get to a gameplay changing run. But it lets you, unlike remember when I remember way back in Gungeon having to use the pea shooter. Wizard of Legend actually gives you 4 skills to start with, and you can get a lot of them and switch them out, so you feel like you can keep it fresh, which is nice. I wish you could get curse items all the time, because those seem to be the cool things that really change your gameplay up. And when I get cool ones, I have a great time. And then when I have to do like 10 runs before I can get one, I can get a little frustrated. We played Oblivion Override, which is, people say it's like Dead Cells with robots. I haven't played Dead Cells, but I remember Dead Cells coming out and being like, that game looks really cool. I love Metroidvanias. I love cool action games, but oh, it's a roguelike. I can't play it. Well, I probably could, because I played Oblivion Override and it was awesome. And that's what it was. It was a Metroidvania, side-scrolling Metroidvania, but as a roguelike, but with robots. That was cool. You could unlock new bots and new weapons and stuff. That was fun. I've played the Survivors games. I listed them. Those have been a blast. I don't think I've ever had a bad time playing a Survivors game. And I tried a bunch, like in the Steam Next Fest. I played a bunch of them in demos and stuff, and they were always a good time. I'm trying to think. I think there's another one I've played, and well, I mean, I think that there's a handful of other. There's like another one I've played that I liked, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, so I'm going out there. I'm going through all the games I missed and the new games that are still coming out, because roguelikes still come out, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's take this new mindset to this genre I've never been able to do, and let's really give it a shot, because I think I can actually attempt to enjoy these games. I went and I got Darkest Dungeon on a sale, and I haven't played it yet, but I intend to play it. And it's, you know what I mean? It's not really like a roguelike thing, but it's close. It came out of this concept of the permadeath and the losing, and it having meta progress. And to me, it was close enough that I'm not gonna do it, because I don't like that. But you know, we got a different mindset now. People always love this. Well, let's try it. So so in a lot of ways, I'm constantly looking for roguelikes to try and play, because they look cool and I think they'd be fun. But I still don't like roguelikes. I still hate the roguelike elements. The core design of the roguelike, of losing progress, of having a build that just goes away. You don't get to use it anymore. You can't pick your build. I would like a game that had the infinite replayability, but just let you pick the build from the beginning, and just give you like an infinite dungeon and see how far it would go. Like Greater Rifts or something from Diablo 3, you know? Just pick your build and see how far it could go. Those are the kinds of things I would like. But I mean, that's a different genre. You're going to have different issues. And, you know, you're going to have to set up the game differently to do that kind of thing. But so I still don't like roguelikes. I still don't like dying. I still don't like losing progress. I don't like losing my build. I don't like having my toys taken away from me. But there's essentially a whole genre I never really got to play. And it's opened up to me. And I'm like, yo, I want to see everything it's got, because cats are doing something. Because I love video games, and I want to experience this huge section of video games that I haven't experienced. Now that I have the potential to like it, makes me wonder what other like big things that I've, you know, other genres I've been like, oh, it's not for me. That if I just figured out how to approach it differently, that, you know, I could enjoy. So that catches us up. That brings us to current day. I think that is the best way I could answer in 50 minutes. In 50 minutes. 50 minutes. In 50 minutes. Why I play roguelikes when I don't like them. And it's my journey with the genre from essentially its inception. Maybe that's a bit of exaggeration, but but you understand what I mean now. So you got the context, you got the answer. You know Cap, why are you playing these roguelikes when you just constantly complain about all the roguelike bits? That's why. Because I'm now at a point where I'm willing to put up with the roguelike bits to enjoy the game that is there. And I feel like I can now. Like I had a great time with Wizard Legend, even though it pissed me off quite a bit. I still had a great time playing it. I'll still play it again. So that's it. That's my journey with roguelikes. That's why I play them when I don't like them. And I will continue to do so. And I plan to keep finding them and playing them. That's the answer. That's where I am. So hopefully you enjoyed my story. It took way longer than I thought it would. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. Hopefully you enjoyed listening. Hopefully you have some insight into my insanity. And that's all I got. So thank you for watching, hanging out with me. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope things go well for you. And I will catch you in the next one.